Welcome, District 12 Toastmasters. Today, I'm interviewing Giovanna Dottore. Welcome, Giovanna.
Hello, thank you.
Giovanna, we have one question for you. How has Toastmasters impacted your personal and professional life?
But it's such a deep question. After being a member for, what's it, 25 years now, there probably isn't an aspect of my life that Toastmasters hasn't touched. But I would say probably something that's pretty recent is my church turned 100 years old. And one of the things they wanted to do was have a yearbook, a centennial yearbook. And so they had asked if I would be on the committee, and eventually they asked if I would chair it. Now, I was never on a yearbook committee at school. I haven't done anything around publications, but I said yes, because we learned that in Toastmasters, say yes, say yes. But in particular, I found a lot of the material that I used in Toastmasters or had developed when I was district governor or when I was conference chair or any of the other numerous roles, I just used those to help run the meetings, the way we did the agenda, how I do timed agendas, because I like to do them down to the second. Even how I did the timelines, the budget that I had developed when I was conference chair, I used a lot of those materials there. So I didn't have to come up with anything new, but people were really impressed how quickly I got up to speed just because of the materials that we were already using in Toastmasters and how easily transferable they were to everybody. And so the recognition piece that we do in Toastmasters was a big element for this particular committee because it was only supposed to be a 2-year commitment. But then COVID hit and it turned it into almost 5 years, right? It was like 4 and plus. And so how do you keep people motivated? We were meeting in person, now we're meeting online. You have varying degrees of understanding of how to use the technology and the Zoom, but keeping people motivated to finish the job could be a little bit of a task. And so the more you get to know your team, just like you do in your club, just like you do in your district, understanding what makes them tick, why are they still here? What do they want to get out of this? And continually playing on that, continually rewarding, continually saying thank you, tapping into their particular skills so they always feel like they're in their wheelhouse. And partway through our journey, the printer who was supposed to print our books went out of business. So what do? We've had these things happen in Toastmasters, and so it's staying calm, right? Assessing the situation and figuring out, hey, people were promised that if they took their picture, they were going to get a free book. Well, now it went out of business. So I have to go find another printer that's going to be cost effective enough that I don't have to go tell people, now you have to pay. But luckily, just using your connections, staying calm, we were able to find a printer that worked within our budget, what we had, because luckily we found some phenomenal people who helped us with the fundraising and we exceeded our fundraising goals. And so that was able to compensate for some of the expenses going to a printer now. So when you think about transferable skills, how it's impacted your life professionally and personally, there are a lot of things we're doing in Toastmasters. Don't check your hat and leave it at the door and think you're just doing it for Toastmasters. You're there because you want to be able to interact with people outside of Toastmasters. And you want it to be as powerfully, positively impactful as it can be, however that looks for you. But that was a really major project. That's a recent one. So that's why I picked that one, probably popped into my head, that a lot of the things that you do running a conference or running the deck or any of your other meetings really translated to doing this particular project. And I did one of my pathways levels on it because then I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, sorry, but either level 4 or level 5, there's one about doing something for a volunteer organization. And so I chose to do one of my pathways levels on putting together the centennial yearbook for our church. And so it was a win-win. You're always using the curriculum to help you do something in your life. There's probably many things you have, I think, on your list of to-dos. So why not look in pathways and see, is there anything that would support that? And that would have you in action, right, with your life and getting some of those activities done that have probably been there for a while. So I would say that was probably a fun memory of how it's had professional and personal impact. Probably more personal than professional in that example, but yeah, let's go with that one.
Excellent story. And tell me, what clubs are you with?
Well, I'm in 2 clubs. My first home club is Mattel Toastmasters in District 1. And then my second club is in District 100, which is the Past District Governors and Directors Club 407, as we like to affectionately call it, 407.
Thank you. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you.